I'm extremely happy to welcome Erica Sietsma.
Thanks, Frank, and appreciate you having me on. Really excited. It's been fun getting to know you, and what you're doing with Race Like a Girl is really awesome. And obviously, as a female founder, giving more tools, resources, and information to women in motorsport of all facets of the industry is so important. And it's not why we built Autofluencer per se, but certainly plays into it in that Autofluencer is a platform to really help both the brands and the athletes or the racers manage and measure sponsorships. And the measurement is really where we started. We are focused on the social side of sponsorships. That is becoming, as you well know, a bigger and bigger piece. And what's great about it is, as a racer and as an athlete, you don't even have to be winning your races. I know we all want to win, everybody wants to win. That's obviously the goal. Nobody's getting into it, be like, oh, I just want to finish last place. It's too expensive for that. But sponsors, at the end of the day, they're trying to sell product, whatever it might be. And social media has become one of the biggest places that people discover new products, that they get validation. Is this a good product? Is it something I should be using? And has become a big part of the sponsorship value proposition. And you don't have to have a huge, platform. You don't have to have millions of followers or even hundreds of thousands, even smaller followerships. It's that content that the brand really wants to see. So the first place we start is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anything you post about your brand partner where you mention their name or their keyword or whatever it is, whether there's an mention, a hashtag, or you just put their name in the caption, we're able to take those posts and associate it to that brand partner, whether they built it or actually racers can build their own campaigns to build reportings to send to their partners. And then we help by not only pulling in kind of the activity of that post, how many comments did it get? How many likes did it get? How many views did it get? But then also trying to put a value around it. So we put on what's called an earned media value. We did not come up with that. That is kind of industry standard in the influencer world. In sponsorships, old school days where it was very one-sided, there was no such thing as engagement. It was more just views and impressions back in the day. It used to be called earned advertising value. It's kind of the old school way of doing it. But now with social media, they introduced a whole new, what I call almost like a trust layer. It's engagements, right? It's an engagement layer. And we know that the more engagements a piece of content has, the more that message hit with that person, right? Whether it's the visual, whether it's the caption, whatever it is. And we know that it's more than just an impression. Someone, we call them thumb stoppers. When they're scrolling or they're flicking, they took the time to stop and go, oh, like that? Yeah, girl. Love it. Even leave a little fire comment. And for the brand, that's good because it means it's more than just a brand. They stopped. They looked at it. Whether they saw my brand name or not could be up for discussion depending on how it was laid out. But it is still a little bit more, and again, a little more valuable than impressions. So we take all of that activity on those posts and put this value, the brands, or if you're creating the campaigns as the racer, you can actually adjust how it calculates. And we have like a little cheat sheet to help you kind of think of how you want to do it. And you can always reach out to our team like, yo, how should I do the value on this? And essentially what that earned media value is this is the money that brand partner, that sponsor, didn't have to spend on media. And it is very hard, and I'm going to say this, is for all of the athletes listening to this that have to have these conversations with brand partners, where they're like, well, how do you drive sales? Bro, look, and now you would not say this. I would say this. These brands, you are not structuring this sponsorship in a way to drive sales. If you truly wanted to drive sales, like I could give them a playbook on how to take all of these sponsorships and then turn them into conversion campaigns. But even if you're giving money to a racer, that is not a sales campaign. That is all day long brand awareness, which is wildly important and wildly expensive. Trying to do traditional media, TV, their own social media through paid advertising that are brand awareness campaigns, where you're trying to build trust, where you are even in the consideration set, is so expensive. In fact, most brands skip it, especially in automotive. They're like, my distributors will figure that out. We'll put it on the shelf at the right place, and that's why they do these sponsorships, is that brand awareness and that trust. If I see my favorite racer or someone I trust, right, I know she's not going to put crappy products on her vehicle because she is, in fact, trying to win, right? Then she's using this product, I'm more likely to use this product. She trusts e.l.f. Cosmetics, I trust e.l.f. Cosmetics, right? So, it is a brand awareness play. And so that's what that earned media value shows is, dude, you did not have to send out a media team to this rally event. I just saved you $5,000. You're welcome. Right? That's
Right.
what that number is. And that's a real dollar amount. It may not be conversion and sales, but the money they didn't have to spend on advertising and on media creation and content creation is a very real value. And that's what that earned media value represents. It's media they have earned talking about their brand, mentioning their brand, even if it's in a sponsor brick. Sponsor bricks are not bad. If you list all 10 of your sponsors in your post, that's okay.
Oh,
Sorry, I know I just talked a lot. So
no, not at all. I was just, I didn't know the term sponsor brick.
yeah, we call them sponsor bricks. It's basically in a social media post where you list all your sponsors. It might be an at mention, it might be hashtags, it might be just their names. I recommend at mentions. But there was for a period of time, people were like, oh, these are bad. They hurt my reach. No, they don't. I can show you 1,000 examples where medium size, I just learned this new phrase, schmedium, small to medium, or schmedium size person crushes in all of their campaigns, and they sponsor brick the heck out of a lot of their posts. You would adjust how you calculate that earned media value. If it's a partner who they're giving you a product discount,
Right.
right? Maybe it's a 25% racer discount, and you're just going to throw them in that sponsor brick. Still track it, right? Because you want to show them, like, bro, I did 15 posts where I talked about you, 20 posts, 30 posts, whatever that is. But you would adjust how you calculate for sponsor bricks a little lower.
So you're talking about two different sides of tracking, one from the sponsor and one for the racer for what they're bringing to either a sponsor or a potential sponsor.
Yep. And I love the potential sponsor. So many.
I learned something.
Yeah, well, because it's been historically so hard to do this. So I think you're going to speak with her, Megan Meyer, who's on our team. So I'm not going to steal all her thunder. She used to do this manually. So she can only do it for the top few, like her title sponsors, because it's very labor intensive manually. Even I think brands have this misconception, like oh, it's so easy if you own the social to pull all the data and reporting. No, it's not.
Yeah.
You got to download, Meta, you can kind of download together, Facebook and Instagram, but you still got to go through and take out the posts that are about that brand. Then you got to download TikTok. Then you got to download YouTube. And you got to do the same thing there. And then you got to mush it all together. And you got to put in and then it looks ghetto because it's in like a spreadsheet, right? And then you're like, oh, hey, so usually they get just like random screenshots of like, oh, look at this post. It did great. Screenshot.
Right.
And then as the sponsor, they're like, I can't do anything with a screenshot. Like I got to retype this all. So we make that process way easier. So now, not only is it easy peasy to track all of your sponsors, but if you have someone you want to work with, I always say start tagging them, right? Start doing a few free posts for them, put it in a report and send it and be like, yo, we're not even working together and I've generated $2,500 in earned media value for you.
Right.
Right? That's media you didn't have to spend. That's content you didn't have to create. That's ads you didn't have to spend because I did this for you. Imagine if we worked together, what could happen?
You mentioned, what was it, Schmidl?
Schmedium.
Schmedium.
Small to medium size influencers.
Schmidl's kind
Or
of
Schmidl. You can call him Schmidl. Either way, it's like my new favorite term.
What are these sizes? Where are the breakdowns? How would a racer know where they are in the world of potential sponsors?
So every sponsor is different. Most of the sponsors we work with, so we tend to work with very endemic sponsors, right? That is our platform. We're focused on this industry. So we don't want Nike as a client. We don't want Disney as a client, right? We don't care about them because, yeah, they might sponsor here and there a motorsport person, but typically they want other athletes, and then they also want the, the random influencer, momfluencer who's like, I love playing tennis. I don't know. I don't want to make fun of it. I'm not trying to make fun, but like,
I think you
they're not
already
out there
did, but it's
bitching on
okay.
cars.
Yes.
So like, we don't, so for us, everyone in our space is all in on this industry, right? They
On
create
automotive.
for this industry. Yeah, for motorsports.
Right.
So they create performance products. They create,
Your motor oil, your tools,
everything.
your all
Yes.
of that stuff. Yes.
Exactly. And so in our world, they don't care as much as about size, and for motorsport sponsorship size.
Right.
So they're not as concerned when they're going to give cash money. Then size matters.
Right.
Either
Well,
size of your platform or if you're podiuming. You can have a
That's-
small social platform and podium, and that will help if the brand has their own good marketing and will then talk about it. Unfortunately, if you don't, if you can't kind of perform on either of those, so if you can't really deliver on the social front and you're not podiuming, it's really hard to get a paid partnership.
Right.
You can have the best sob story in the world, and it's still really hard unless you've got a connection.
Right.
Like, again, going back to that value, like they need something in there. Like, so if you're not posting on social at all, you're probably not going to get a funded sponsorship unless you are legit racing or you are part of a team that has a strong social presence.
Right. For the people that are not part of a team that have not reached that status yet, that are out grassroots racing.
Yeah.
Where along the path do they start to think, I've got an opportunity here? Is that 10K total followers, 100K total followers?
Well, I think, look, from a relationship standpoint, first, you got to do the racer discount programs.
Okay.
Get involved, do the racer discount with everybody. Unless you're constantly winning, whatever series you're in, or
Right.
you've got a big social profile. So that would usually be over 100,000,
Okay.
right? And again, depends. Like I've seen guys that are, 250, 300,000, and they don't do that well in an earned media value, right? Because they post fairly infrequently, and maybe they used to be more consistent. They're not. Where I've also seen people that are smaller than some other people, but they post so consistently, they get great engagement, and their earned media value is 10x bigger than someone who's got 1 million followers. And then it depends on what they're looking for. One advice that I've seen work well is people getting into the media side, a pure media play of, hey, I have someone coming to capture my own media of me racing, because obviously I'm in the car, so I can get in-car footage,
Right.
but seeing me go around the track or, doing the event is a lot harder. So maybe I paid a media person, or this is also really common, me and a few other racers all go in together on a media person to help
Right.
capture in stills. Then having that media person also help capture content for your sponsor partners
Right.
that you would almost like sell to them and be like, hey, I'm going to be at this event. I could do some really killer R&D videos for you, or training videos on how to do this thing. Do you want to pay for that? And it'll be high quality production. I have a professional cameraman coming. We're going to professionally edit it. It is something you can plug and play on your website. You could plug and play it right into your social ads, and you don't have to, right? And it's not necessarily all about me. It's more about how this brand supports, how your motor oil or your fuel, supports the off-road racing community and is the best of the best, right? So you could start literally getting in the business, producing commercials that is because those have like it's easier for a brand to wrap their head around, like, oh, that has a set price, that has a set value. I've seen some people augment, not be able to get just pure sponsorships with actual media packages that they're offering.
Interesting. So it's two kind of related but separate worlds.
Yeah.
One is getting sponsored, tagging those sponsors, and the other is creating media that you then sell to the sponsor.
Right. That they own royalty free, they own outright full licenses, it's theirs.
Right. Right.
Which is what you typically in those cases, the racer, their vehicle might be present, but they may or may not be on camera depending on what it is, right?
Okay. Oh, I see.
It depends on kind of where they fall. Some racers start to get particular about how long you can use their image and likeness, because if they switch brands or, you don't want 3 years later, the brand's still like cycling.
Promoting X while they've gone over to Y. Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, and it just depends on your aptitude, right? And what you want to do. Look, data is never a bad idea. Even if it's just for yourself, to give yourself okay, here's how I'm performing, here's how I'm doing. Because in our platform, you can look at kind of across everything, and then you can look at it at the brand level. Like, what's the value I brought to just this brand? And then what's my overall views? What's my overall subscription followers? So for updating your hero cards, we're actually working on some really cool dynamic media kits that will actually pull all your social data and even case studies right out of Autofluencer, so that when you send those, you don't, like, the number one thing, I remember my first PRI, the number one thing that stuck with me is how many racers I saw handing off a hero card and then going, here's all my socials, but this is old. This is old. I have like way more now. I can follow up in an email. And I'm like, oh, what a pain, And so we actually have little QR codes that you can put. You can say, oh, scan for my up-to-date socials, and it'll show all the stuff. But, it's evolving, right? It is, the value proposition of racing is evolving. And unfortunately for racers, it's not getting easier.
Well, it seems like it's getting more crowded, and people have learned that social media is so important. So it's distinguishing yourself and standing out is more of a challenge than it used to be.
Absolutely. We have hundreds of content creators and racers on our platform, and a lot of brands, not hundreds, I wish. One day.
After this comes out, it'll be thousands.
for sure. But we have a good, I love the brands we do have. It's a very good smattering from across the performance industry and the aftermarket. We've got turbochargers, we've got oil companies, we've got suspension companies, we've got tool companies, we've got fabrication, just such a good mix of partners. And what they each want is a little bit different. And so some lean more towards the influencer, right? They want just content of people talking about their product and how great it is. And that's why I always tell racers, do both. Be both, right?
Yeah.
Don't just do the racing, because you'll be able to stand alone on your own. Like, I know a young woman who's on a team, but she's done a great job of being a social media voice. And so she brings in her own sponsorships. She's not relying on that team. She got all her own money that she does not need to share. And so if she left that team, she'd be fine, right? And she can do her own thing. And it's making her kind of financially independent in a racing world because of her social media strategy.
Right.
And when you think about it, it's not hard. It's not like rocket science. It is consistency.
Yeah.
And that is hard.
Yeah.
But racers are consistent. They go out, they put in the laps, they do the thing. It's a lot of muscle memory there.
Right.
Treat social media the same way. It's a muscle memory thing.
What are some big mistakes that you see racers make?
Cold outreach when you don't know the person. And I get a lot of this. We don't actually do sponsorships yet. It is my dream as we grow as a company. I would love to have different forms of
Autofluencer will, in
sponsorship.
fact, at some point sponsor people.
We did have someone put our
But she
stickers on their
doesn't now,
card.
so no, but don't cold outreach her.
Yeah, don't cold outreach. It doesn't work with anybody. I mean, it just doesn't. Unless you're huge, right?
Again, let's
And you're
quantify
looking for
huge. Huge is winning a lot, or a
both.
million
Either.
people, or
It's either a million plus followers,
okay,
500,000 plus followers.
okay,
Our industry skews a bit down. Like, luckily in that sense, the biggest influencer in our space is maybe about 10 million followers, which compared to mainstream is not big at all.
right,
That Forbes did a top 50 content creator list. Like, I remember, these people are like 100 million. I mean, they're so big.
yeah, yeah.
So overall, our industry skews lower. So like 500,000 is big in our industry.
Okay,
And then you have a few kind of unicorns, your Cletuses, your Adam LZs, your Richard Rollins. Like, you've got a few of these kind of really giant, but Chris Fix, but they're kind of in a different world, right?
Chris Fix, the auto repair guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I mean, he's doing some racing, he's doing some drifting and stuff like that.
Oh,
And so,
okay.
everybody kind of even if they start more, everybody wants to get into racing, because it's cool, man.
it's pretty cool.
They like to go fast. I have no depth perception, so I will never get into it. But yeah, so they're kind of a different world. So
Yeah.
first of all, don't compare yourself to them,
Right.
right? But if someone like that were to reach out and be like, "Yo, I need 3 superchargers," pretty much any company's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool, let's
Right.
do it."
Yeah.
Please mention us, you
Yes.
know? And so you will see, and that's maybe $30,000 worth of product. So you'll see that there. But, and even for them, their value proposition is different. They'll help with R&D is a big one,
Right.
custom media. But going back to mistakes, cold outreach, get to know the people. Use their start posting about them online. If there's a product you really want to use or a brand you really want to represent, start posting about them. Start talking about why you love their brand. Track it in a report and send it to them. That is different. Sending them your 12-page deck that nobody cares about. I was just talking to someone the other day. He used to do sponsorships for Ford. And he said they would skip through the first 3 slides. Interesting sob story, don't care. Don't care. Don't care. What are you going to do for us? All they
Right.
wanted to see is, what are you going to do for us? What events are you
Right.
going to do? What are you offering? And how big are you on social media? Or what's your results? They would skip to these back 3 pages,
Right. Right.
right? And they skipped everything else. And they're beautiful decks. Took so much time and effort or money that you paid someone, and they just skip it all
Yeah.
to get to the heart of what are you going to do for us? So don't do that. Post about them. Show them. Show
Yeah,
them.
that's.
what you're gonna
I was
do for
going to
them.
ask you, what's the least expensive way to get on the radar of sponsors?
Organic
It's-
social media.
It sounds like you just gave it to me.
Yep.
To us.
Don't, again, unless you're bigger and you're winning and you're famous, don't be like, hey, I'll switch from this brand to your brand if you give me money. They all hate that. If they
Right.
want to conquest and they've got a conquest style campaign happening, they will reach out to you.
Right.
They will reach out to you. If they want to work with you on a conquest, they will reach out for conquest. It's a different process. But if you don't already use their product, fat chance.
Another question I was going to ask is, what is something every racer watching this should do today, this week, to improve their
Sign
profile?
up for your free Autofluencer account.
Okay.
Thing one, sign up for your free Autofluencer account, for sure. And then
And start tracking your
and
posts.
start tracking your social. Yeah, put in,
Yeah.
you get 2 free personal campaigns. Put in those 2 things. Frank actually saw it before this call. We finally launched our welcome and some tips and training. And if you ever have any questions, we're super easy to reach out to. We have chat on the website. It comes to my cell phone, right? So we're here to help. We're a young company, and we're all chips in, man.
Right.
So that, and then if you're not doing social media, get on it. Just start.
Yeah.
Set a little goal. Somebody's like, I'm going to post every day for the next 30 days. That's cool. If you're not posting at all, start it once a week. and then twice a week, and then 3 times.
If somebody doesn't use social media right now, do you have a source that they should look to how to post, what to post, to help them with that process?
Megan's Motorsports Marketing Tips website, Megan Meyer, is a total wealth of information.
Who we're going to be interviewing next month.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So when you interview her, her website, there's so much there. We have a whole series called Creators and Coffee on YouTube. There's a lot there about sponsorships, brand partnerships. It's all about relationships. Like, the people that are in industry want relationships.
Yeah.
As you get bigger from a social media standpoint, you're winning a lot. If you're above 50, 60,000 on like a YouTube, let's say, getting about 50,000 to 100,000 views a month, which is very difficult. That is like a full-time job. You might get an agency coming and be like, hey, we're going to bring you some paying clients. The trick with those, and everybody I know in our space that have done this, seems cool. This is one of my favorite examples, is Factor Meals. They work with an agency. They will sling out, $7.50 a post. You're like, this is great. I'm going to do a little video about Factor Meals. They're yummy. They're easy. I'm a busy racer. I'm going to do this thing. I get $2,500 super fast. You will never hear from them again.
Oh.
It's one and done, right? We see so many people out of industry, especially if you're in smaller series, karting, even stock car, even NASCAR. Non-endemic sponsors will come in for a year and be like, we're going to try this.
Right.
They are gone the next year. Unless you can really show them that value that they're creating and how your audience is their audience.
Right.
And like, hey, I'm building this brand awareness. But just know, if you get someone who seems quirky, like, oh, you're a concrete mixing company? My audience is 18 to 32-year-old women. I don't know how helpful it's going to be, but we can give it a shot. Like, just know they probably will not renew, and that is not a you thing.
Right,
like,
right.
Cool that you're able to get some money out of them. Now, they could be using it for their own goodwill and writing it off and, doing other things with it and sharing it with our audience that does care about women's sport. You see that sometimes, but just know sometimes you get people outside the industry come in with money and then they don't stay because it probably wasn't a fit to begin with.
You mentioned TikTok and YouTube. Is there a ranking if somebody's focusing on social media? Is there a place to focus most?
Okay. This is a really tricky one because, again, like so many things, there's no silver bullet.
Right.
And it also depends on the different sponsors. They all have different goals. Like, we have seen some that are really trying to unlock a TikTok audience share, right?
Okay.
And so they want people that know and like TikTok, right? And have an affinity to it. And as we look across all the people we've worked with, influencers and creators and racers, there's definitely some that are more TikTokers. They love it. They think Instagram is super boring.
Right.
They on TikTok all day long. We have some that are like, oh, we want YouTube long form. And I'm always like, well, you better be willing to pay for that. Even a small creator, that's a commercial, bro. Like, come on. Yeah. So it kind of depends. Sometimes the brand will dictate it. My first advice, if you're just getting started, pick which one you like best. Which one do you resonate with that you're more likely to be on a whole bunch? There is no longer, it's not bad if you share from Instagram to Facebook. That used to be a thing, like, oh, it's going to hurt you. Not really. Facebook has a fledgling monetization program. It's not big, but some people are getting like, oh, I got a $20 check. Like, you're seeing a little bit more movement on Facebook. It's hard because the trends kind of change of,
right.
The parent companies, how much they're willing to invest. So it kind of depends.
Okay.
Now, I will say one thing. Some brands will say, oh, we want YouTube because it's a search engine. And what they don't realize is in the last, I want to say year and a half, Meta, Instagram and Facebook, have unlocked their platform so that they are now searchable. So with the ability of creators to create these digital creator profiles, they're now indexable by the large language models.
Okay.
Which means if someone's doing an AI search, whether that's, the new Google Gemini search or it's in ChatGPT, those are the two main ones. Social media posts from Instagram and Facebook will show up as cited sources. And LinkedIn is showing now too. That is newer, right? And so, because it used to be they would never come up in search results. It would only ever be YouTube. I mean, look, Google owns YouTube, so,
Right.
that was made sense for them. But now it's, you're seeing the others show up. So the whole searchability thing is changing a little bit because we're seeing social media, Facebook, Instagram, start to become citation results in AI search. So
Okay.
it's no longer like, oh, we want YouTube for the searchability of it.
I can't thank you enough, Erica. For me, it's been incredibly informative. I hope it has for the people following. I'll put up your information afterwards. So if somebody does want to sign up for the free Autofluencer account that will help you track your social media and better make your case to sponsors, well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Frank. I appreciate it. And to all the women out there racing, just keep going. That consistency will pay off.
That's the goal. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks. Bye.